Welcome to Answers from Within. From the author of the All-Knowing Diary, Mind Lies into Truths that will set you free.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Answers from Within. What we're going to be looking at is who we really are, and that's ultimately what this is all about. When we get to the truth, we get to the truth of who we are, and I believe we're going to get to the truth of who Tim is. Hello, Tim.
Hey, Daniel.
What are we going to be covering with you, my friend?
Well, for many years, meeting new people, even being around people I've known for, I feel like, a while, I feel like I can't be myself, that I'm hiding something, or I'm somehow or something is preventing me from fully showing myself until I really get to know them. And that's been a problem.
What do you mean it's been a problem?
Well, it makes me feel uncomfortable. It's as though I'm not actually being authentic with people. When I was younger, I had a lot of anger issues. So I felt like it took me a long time to get to know people. And it would only be angry with people that I was really close with, like my family, and things like that. And it's like, there were these parts of myself, the good and the bad, that I was hiding. And until I knew someone really, really, really well, I wouldn't allow that out. And now I've dealt with, I think, a lot of my anger issues, so that's not so much a problem. But I just can't seem to open up almost at all to people. Even people that I could call now, like really close friends. I don't think that most of them I'm even fully there.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yes, it does indeed. All right, so there are a few things coming up. So let's just take one at a time, okay?
Okay.
The first thing that I'm seeing in you is I'm not okay who I am. Mm-hmm. Which makes you want to hide from others, mm-hmm. and ultimately makes you want to kind of disguise yourself from yourself. There is this deep fear of, if I get to see who I really am, I'm going to be bitterly disappointed. And the mirror, of course, is when you're in the company of others, this is brought up. Like, I'm not comfortable here. I'm unsettled. I'm not my authentic self. And the sad truth is, Tim, that you've never been your authentic self. You think in certain circumstances you are your authentic self. But the truth is, your authentic self is so much brighter, so much clearer than where you've dared to go before. So what you do is you allow yourself to only go so deep, because you shut it down. If I go too deep, if I go way to the core, right to the heart of everything, I will actually see myself as a disappointment. So you go to a level which is believable to you, which is acceptable. That, yep, I can be that guy. I can be him. That's believable. But anything past that, holy shit, I don't want to go there. That's too frightening, too terrifying. Which is really quite backwards when you look at it, because the guy that you're okay to be isn't actually you, and the being that you're not okay to be, the real essence, is the real you. So you're okay to be something that isn't, but not something that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I certainly find myself disappointed with who I'm pretending to be.
Yeah, very, very astute of you. And that's exactly what this is about, is the fear of, I will be disappointed if I am the real me. And it's like, well, actually, you're disappointed now. You're disappointed with what you've settled for as the real you when it was a very poor substitute. So, shall we work with that?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm game if you are.
I'm game. It's a big one for all of us. So, let's have some fun with this. When you're told off as a kid, when you're very young, and you're told off enough times with enough potency, you come to imagine yourself as somebody who is unliked, unwanted, undesired. And it doesn't take very long for you to suppress that, to hide that guy, hide that person, and create a fictitious character that everyone will like. You will like, they will like, mum will like, dad will like, brother will like, sister will like, everyone will like this new character because the other guy, he wasn't working out. So there's this misunderstanding when you're very young, a very unfortunate misunderstanding where you come to believe who I am is unwanted. Because clearly it's being yelled at, it's being rejected, it's being criticized, and so on. So let's look at what the real truth is. That's the take home, and that's what we carry through your whole life, what you're dealing with now. But if we were to go back to that moment and see things through truthful eyes, we would have seen something very different to your take home. And let me tell you what that is. You would have gotten to see that here you were, this beautiful little boy, and dad and mum and whoever else was around, whatever it was, going, how dare he be okay within himself? Who does this guy think he is, being okay to be himself? I'm not okay within myself. You're not okay. None of us are okay to be ourselves. So, where does this kid get off being himself? So the anger, the frustration, the rejection, the alienation that you were confronted with was their confrontation. Their lack of awareness, their lack of awakeness. So in that process, they're going, instead of going, wow, look at this guy, he's amazing, he's so okay within himself, and isn't that beautiful, maybe we could learn something. They went, shut him down. It's not good enough. And what's more, it's not the real world. This won't work in the real world, so we better wake him up and say, who you think you are won't do. And that's where you are now. Who I am won't do. So the irony is, you weren't rejected because who you were was flawed, or who you were being there was something wrong with. You weren't rejected at all. That's the irony. The people around you rejected the learning that you had on offer for them. You're saying, hey, I bring a gift. The gift is you can stop rejecting yourself because who you are is perfect. And they came back with, I don't want to accept myself. I reject the gift which is really them saying, I reject the gift that I am. I reject what I am, who I am. And this little boy who had this gift was going, they don't want my gift. They don't want to meet the real them. They don't want the real me. I better change. I better darken myself. Be more like them. So that's what actually transpired. So let's bring you out of that darkness. Let's bring you into some real truth here. What I see is you're still playing this old record of it needs to work. Who I am needs to work. It needs to belong, fit in, not ruffle too many feathers. Who I am needs to be embraced on some level. Make sense?
It does.
But you hate that. Oh my God, you hate that.
I would much rather not give a shit.
Well, let's honor what you do give a shit about right now, and that is how much you hate needing to fit in and belong.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you don't want to give a shit about that, but you do.
It's unfortunate.
It will be over soon, don't worry. It's nearly impossible not to give a shit because you're taught in order to get love and affection from those around you who matter most as a kid, you need to fit in, you need to work within the system, you need to do what people respond to. It's like virtually impossible to not go through that conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be hard on yourself that you do give a shit or you do care. It's like that was part of your survival. It's part of getting through being a child. Getting what you want. Getting food. Getting milk. Like, it's important stuff. Getting to bed on time, you know. So, but let's have a look. What will have you not care or release the need to care? And the first thing is, if you realize what you're actually seeking and have been seeking is not anyone else's love and approval, you've been going through them, looking around you for obviously your own love and approval. If they give it to me, then I might be okay as far as the world sees me, and I'll give it to myself. So if we can give it to you, if you can give it to yourself, then you will no longer need to fit in, and more importantly, you will no longer need to need. Okay?
Yes.
And let's see how we can do that for you. If you realize how much anguish it puts you in to seek that approval from somebody else, from others, you can start to see that you were never meant to have it in the first place. It's so contrary to your ultimate destiny that the mere act of it just makes you cringe, right?
It makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was seeing. I couldn't get the word strong enough, but that you did it. Beautiful. That's exactly what I was seeing. It makes your skin crawl. So if you can just look at that for a second and go, I was never meant to do it in the first place. I was never meant to seek it. I was never meant to achieve it. I was never meant to need it. How does that feel?
I would say liberating, but I think it's just slowly seeping in.
That's just layer one. Just layer one. But you can feel that, right? You can feel it's almost like a little light bulb going off and going, I never realized that. I was like, yeah, you're right. I never needed to do it in the first place.
I mean, I recognize the truth in what you're saying. I can feel that.
Great.
Resonance.
Beautiful. That's all we need right now. So now we can go to the next level. The more I seek it, the more pain I go through. So the opposite, if I was to seek the opposite, which is self-love and self-approval, that's actually the end of all pain. The end of all struggle, all pain, all hardship is that. Make sense?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
I wish it was easy.
All right, we're getting there. Just work with me.
No, I appreciate it.
Now, what's in the way of that is another belief that's pretty chunky. I'm not meant to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've struggled with that one for a long time.
Now, if that's in place, how on earth are you ever to get to I'm okay the way I am and I love myself? And you can't, because you're not meant to be here in the first place.
Yeah.
So you've got these
It's
conflicts.
almost like, yeah, I'm carrying around the feeling of like I was forced to be here. That I'm here against my will. Mm-hmm.
And not only that, I was rejected. And not only that, I'm not meant to be here. And not only that, I'm rejected for not being here. Blah, 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 blah. It goes backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult situation to see your way out of. So very good thing that we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just deal with the truth of that, okay? And that is...
Okay.
This is very, very interesting. It is, you're right. You're not meant to be here in the way that you're seeing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way that you're seeing yourself is to make a difference to other people's lives. Do you see yourself as that?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Even to the point where I'm only here for other people.
And that's where you're not meant to be here. You remember what we said at the beginning? You decided, I'm going to be somebody who everyone will like.
Uh-huh.
Well, guess who that was? There's somebody who will be here for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
What's more likable than that character?
Seems like trying to please everybody is someone that no one likes.
There's someone that you don't love.
Right.
You trying to get love from everyone else is very likable guy. Except to one person. You don't like that guy.
No, not at all.
Everybody likes a pleaser. Everybody likes somebody who will run around and bend over backwards for them. Except the guy running around bending over backwards. He doesn't like that guy.
Especially when it feels like I don't have a choice.
Well, you didn't. You came from, if I don't do this, I won't survive.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't that the truth as a baby, as a young child? If I don't do this, if I don't please, I won't be fed, I won't be clothed, I won't be cleaned, I won't be showered. All these things I won't get. So you're still carrying around this 5-year-old's beliefs of my life depends upon pleasing others. But now your life depends upon you being pleased. You are now at that point of transition. Because the guy who's here to please others, he's not meant to be here. You have been right about that. That guy, he's not meant to be here. But the guy, let me tell you who is meant to be here, okay?
Okay.
The guy who sees the world clearly. He's meant to be here. The guy who can change something in the cells and DNA of his own body, and that sends ripples across the earth. He's meant to be here. The guy who can think a happy thought and that changes happiness in different parts of the world. He's meant to be here. But the guy who's trying to please by performing miracles, by walking on water, trying to be Jesus, there's no place for him anymore. But there's resistance. If I'm not being him, how will I get love, praise, attention, affection, admiration? Well, you're not getting any of that anyway. If you don't give it to yourself, you're not going to feel it from anyone else. You're just going to have disdain for yourself because you're trying to get it from everyone else but you.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go deeper. How do we know that this guy is meant to be here? That's what we're going to answer. Because he's happy doing his own thing. Are you not?
I used to be.
Yeah, but now you've made it wrong. Now it's like some social faux pas if you're enjoying your own company. You're making yourself wrong if you're not socializing and if you're not getting along with all these new people and... Correct?
Listen.
You've made it wrong to be happy with yourself.
And allowed other people to influence that too much.
Well, once we're in self-doubt, we're easily influenced, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
This is why I said to you at the beginning, you said, and it's become a problem. I was like, well, what's the problem? I needed to know, like, I could see very clearly you were making yourself, being with yourself, a problem. It's not okay. I should be out more. I should be able to expose myself more to people and be more vulnerable, accessible. It's like, whoa, one step at a time here, kiddo. One step. Now, let's go into some extra truth here around all that. You can't be accepted by others. You can't be in that world out there until you fully, wholeheartedly accept yourself. You will always diminish yourself, hide something, withdraw until you're fully accepting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the part of you that you're not accepting is the part of you that is, I don't need to help others. I don't need to make a difference. That's the part of you that you're not accepting.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason you're not accepting it, we start going into our vicious loop, is, but that's my only reason for being here.
Yeah.
It's actually the only reason, to not be here. If that's what you're going to be doing, then don't be here. Because it's contrary to why you are here. And let's explore that. Explore that really quickly.
Okay.
And just, I want you to hold it in your space. You want this breakthrough. You want this realization. Because there's a part of you that's really, I'm not ready for this. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If I stop helping other people, I'll stop rejecting myself. The more you help other people, the more you see yourself as not good enough.
Wow.
Keeps this in play. Makes you strive for more. Do better. Get more attention. Get more praise. So the more I stop helping people, the more I stop rejecting myself. Said slightly differently, when I stop helping the world, everybody else, I will see my divinity. I will see my perfection. I don't want to see my perfection. Why does Tim not want to see his perfection? Why don't any of us want to see our perfection? Let's go there, all right? So there's the blockage. Why you don't want to see this is no one will allow me to be me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's what you were taught, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's been an underlying, I've noticed that running in the background.
Yeah, yep. No one will allow it. If I go there, if I try to go there, if I access that, if I be that guy, that being, I won't be allowed. I'll be shot down. No, I won't be allowed. It's banned. It's just not allowed.
Yeah.
So we're going to ask the question, really? Is that the truth? Of course not. No one else has a say. Only people have a say on who they can be. So why are you banning yourself? That's what you're really afraid of. If I try that, I'm going to stop myself. I'm going to hold myself back from being the real me.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why is Tim going to hold himself? Let's have a look. Oh, this is great. You'll love this. Because I'm going to realize I don't need anyone. And I'm meant to. I should. I want to. That's what this is about. You're avoiding the realization I don't need anyone. And I never did. How does that feel?
It's definitely freeing.
One more layer to go, my friend. Why is that so repulsive? Why is that something to avoid? Let's see what you've got going on inside of you. Okay. This is pretty big. Because your whole identity is based around needing someone. Your entire existence is based around needing people. So you can see the identity, the ego is just like, well, we can't have him get there, because if he doesn't need people, then he doesn't need me, his ego. He doesn't need that anymore. So the truth behind all of that is it's going to make the biggest shift for you. I don't need myself. Or if you prefer me to say, I don't need a self. I don't need to belong. I don't need to see myself as a person, as a part of society. I don't need to see myself as an anyone. How do you feel about that?
I can feel it. I'm just not sure what to think about it.
All right, one more thing. Let's go. One more thing we'll do. We'll do one more layer of this, and I think that will be enough for you for today. I never came here to think of myself as someone or as something. I never came here to think of myself as any one thing. I came here to see myself as everyone and as everything.
I can feel that.
No fitting in required. And there, my friend, is where we're going to complete today.
Well, thank you from my whole heart.
You are so welcome. So if you have a question that needs answering, come along to danielanswers.com.